I'm really not sure. So somehow I hit some sort of filter. So this is great. This is I have no idea what I hit or how to take that off, but we got to start the show anyway. So
oh wow, we have sunglasses.
We have sunglasses and falling leaves for this edition of Business Owner Moms. This is fantastic. Yeah, I mean we're recording right now, so
well, hi guys.
I have no idea what I hit, but this will be fun. This will be fun. Get a little bit more character. All right, let's do the show. Hello, this is Matt Barbie with Time for Success, Business Owner Moms Edition. And today we have a wonderful guest, Carly Black. And she actually owns, well, she's got a blog, and I'm going to let her say the name because I'm going to probably butcher it. And then she also owns Two Maids and a Mop. I'm going to try the name. I'm going to go ahead. So the blog is Rivulet.
Rivulet and Debilitating Anxiety to Come.
Okay.
And Rivulet is actually also a business, but we've turned it into a blog.
Okay. Awesome. Well, so that brings us into the part where I say, tell me more about what you do and your businesses and all that.
Okay, so I'll first start with Rivulet. And Rivulet is all about being able to give individuals hope. A lot of us are dealing with stress, anxiety, overwhelm, chronic pain, all these things on a daily basis. And people really think that they need to live like this, and they don't. And I actually, as a child, grew up with anxiety, and it skyrocketed and turned into debilitating anxiety 5 years ago. And Rivulet was created because we found emotional freedom technique, EFT, and the 5 personality patterns, which helped me go into my subconscious and release energy that had been stuck as early as in utero. So that's just a little idea about it, behind it. And it's a mother-daughter duo.
That's fantastic. Well, so obviously this is Business Owner Moms, so it's fantastic too that your mom is involved and you're a mom, and but so you got that's an issue that so many people deal with, and they don't even know how to talk about it. They oftentimes don't really know how to get the help, or maybe they have some misunderstandings about the different types of help and support that they're out there. I mean, even EFT technique, I've heard that be really helpful for so many people, and it's a fairly quick and impactful technique to implement, right?
Yes, totally. So EFT can be used in different ways.
Yeah.
So a lot of people use it to help them calm their body in seconds.
Yeah.
And with what we do with Rivulet is we get more to the core. We get to where is this anxiety, where is the stress, overwhelm, these things that we deal with on a daily basis, where is it coming from? Yeah. So we combine EFT with the 5 personality patterns, which is from Stephen Kessler, and that is all about what we do in overwhelm. And so we combine it together, combined with also other things that we've learned over the years, and it helps really dive in.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And so now the other business that you have, at least one more business, is Two Maids and a Mop. Or Two Maids and a Mop, but no, Two Maids.
two Maids and a Mop.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. And so tell me more about that. How did that start?
Yeah, so actually, my husband decided to leave teaching after 10 years. He decided he always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And he always saw that me with starting, first I had started Organized Life, and then it actually turned into Rivulet. And then he decided, you know what, let's go for this. So he started actually looking at franchises. And the reason we went with Two Maids and a Mop is really a lot because of the CEO. He is just so down to earth and believes so strongly in these systems that make Two Maids and a Mop different. And the reason Two Maids and a Mop is different is because it's pay for performance. Okay. So what that means is the customer, they actually pay up front a certain amount, but our workers get paid based on a 1 to 10 rating. So there is a lot of incentive there. And also we're really huge on making sure that the people that we hire have wonderful character, family oriented, things that are just so important that people want in their home. They trust that in their home. So
Right. Well, I mean, the home is kind of like our most, I guess, private, kind of intimate area. And, when you have the wrong kind of people coming in, or, we've all kind of experienced to a degree having people that we're uncomfortable with in our house. It especially because sometimes you might be going to a house, they might not be home.
Right.
I mean, it's so easy that there's a ring on a dresser that might just kind of disappear. So it's important to have the right people in people's houses. So that's fantastic.
Definitely.
So you've got 2 businesses.
Yes.
And one of them you co-own with your husband. Mm-hmm. And you've got, tell me more about your family. How many kids do you have?
We have 1.
Okay.
1 kiddo. He is 2. His name is Cameron. And then we have a dog who will be 10.
The fur baby.
In December.
Right. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. And so you got the 2-year-old, and you've got multiple endeavors going on. How do you, as a family unit, define success?
Okay. So success. To be totally honest, and I am just now being able to really be present, but success to us is being present. And it goes a lot deeper than just being present. I used to live in my head a lot. I mean, always just thinking about how do I think about this, and very, very rigid about things, and not being able to really just live. And being present and being able to really just not be thinking about anything, just really being there with our family is so huge. Yeah. And there's a lot that goes into that, but I don't want to go on and on and on. So, yeah.
Well, it's not, I don't think that you can probably go on and on and on too long, because I think that's something, and that's kind of the part of why I started the show, is because oftentimes we do, so for entrepreneurs, business owner dads or business owner moms, there's so many things, so many balls that we have in the air that it's hard not to think about the business and what's going on when we have family time. For business owner dads, oftentimes they're kind of taught by society that your profession, your business is kind of your identity. For business owner moms, our society often tells them that your family is kind of your core identity. And so there's guilt whenever they think about, their business and all that, whenever they're trying to also focus on their family. Not to say that the dads don't necessarily have guilt in that respect too, but there's just different roles that our society has taught us that this is the way we're supposed to act. And so tell me a little bit more about that. Like, how do you kind of put aside the business stuff so that you can focus? What is your key for success to make that happen for you and your husband? Yeah,
so a big thing is, with guilt and being told that kind of goes back to, I was dealing with that at first, before I was able to really go within and figure out why is this bothering me?
Yeah.
And so sometimes when we're growing up, we take on messages that aren't ours.
Right.
And they get stuck. They literally get stuck in the energies of our body.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to be able to release those and really realize that those are limited beliefs. Mm-hmm. That when we think about those different things like, oh my gosh, like I'm a failure, or I can't be super mom, or these different things that people feel, I want them to know that it seems normal, but there is a way to not feel that. There is a way to get more present and to release that.
Right.
And so just to give you a little example, I always get up an hour before Cameron wakes up. It is so, so important because that is my time.
Yeah.
And I always make sure that I have my time. And within that time, I do a lot of things, but a big thing is I do a personalized meditation, actually, that my sister created.
Really?
And
okay.
yeah. And
is she part of Rivulet?
She actually, so we collaborate with her and her husband, the Mason Way.
Oh, okay.
And so that is actually part of one of our programs called Momentum.
Okay.
And so she actually created this incredible meditation for me. And it really helps me get out of my head and into my body.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that I can explain it, but until someone really experiences it, they're like, oh, okay, I really understand. Right. But it's not just being mindful, being present. It's really going within. And so I've done a lot of work with going within to be able to truly be in my body and be present in my body and feel. Some people don't even feel in their bodies. There's so much in their head. Right. So going back to there's a lot that goes into it, but the morning routine is so, so huge. During that time, I also do my deep breathing and I listen to podcasts and things that are really going to get me going for the day, that I can be the best mom, the best wife, the best daughter, friend for that day.
Yeah. Well, I think that's great. And obviously we're going to have listeners that have all sorts of different spiritual, philosophical backgrounds and all that. But you talking about morning routines being important. You're talking about, meditation, and there's different forms of meditation.
Right.
And so really what that meditation is about is really learning how to control your mind and your body in kind of the simplest core of it.
Right.
And so you, through Rivulet, your sister, your mom, that's one of the aspects of what you do. You teach people how to better control their minds and their bodies and their ways of thinking, so that they don't experience all these negative emotions all the time. They can actually truly be present. Is that a fair summary?
Absolutely, yes. And it's very interesting because a lot of the time when a lot of us do meditation or we think we're being mindful, we're still in our heads. And so I truly could not be present until I release things that were just in my subconscious, that were just always coming up. So there are different ways to incorporate that mindfulness and that present. And, everyone has to do what works for them. But for me, when I went within and I really released things and really realized that those were limited beliefs that I had brought on myself, I was able to truly, really embrace life. A lot of people, I feel like we have to be miserable in life and we have to feel this way. And, we're rushing and all these different things. And guys, you don't have to if you don't want to. Some people, they like it, they enjoy it, and that's fine. But there is a way to be more present and really just embrace life.
Right. I think that's true. A lot of people think that, they identify themselves with their struggles in life, and if you're not, you hear that to get to success, right? You have to go through failure, right? I mean, you have to go through the difficult times, and something that we talk about. But going through those difficult times and those failures, those challenges, there's different ways of taking them. They can affect you positively, and you're like, because I've had those moments where it's been a real challenge, where maybe I get a little depressed or anxious about something. But then there's other times whenever I've been able to kind of reorient, take a different perspective, and say, you know what, this is great that I'm experiencing this. What am I learning? Great, I've now learned this, and I can take that, and it helps in the future. So is that kind of part of what you kind of help people to realize and recognize the learning moments in their life, and how to leverage those in the future to be more successful?
Oh yeah, for sure. And once again, success looks different to everyone, you know? So, and my background is in teaching. So I really look at people in how do they learn, how did they look at it? What's going to work for them? Because what may work for me may not work for them. Right. And so, I mean, it's a lot deeper. But yes, to an extent. For sure.
Right. Okay. Now, so with Rivulet, obviously you have the blog aspect of it, but you do actually have personal clients that you work with as well.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And then again to shift for two maids and a mop.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you guys just do the commercial, or do you do commercial and residential?
So we do residential, and there are some commercial that are very small, and they're okay with us coming in during the day.
Yeah.
But it's mostly residential.
Okay. Now, a lot of people will get anxious about how their home looks, and we're coming into the holiday season. Right. You will be judged, right? Is what everybody's thinking, right? The people are going to come into your house if you're hosting, and they're going to judge your house and all that. Well, first of all, if you're overly anxious about that, Rivulet helps out with that. But to actually help with the problems, they actually have clean house. You've got two maids and a mop. But in all seriousness, do you find that people who have somebody like you come in and clean their house, it allows them to kind of enjoy life more in some ways? I mean, they get to do more of the things that they enjoy. Is that...
Absolutely. And it's so funny that you connect Rivulet and Two Maids and Mop, because really, when we were talking about Two Maids and Mop, we wanted to look at the emotional benefits.
I love it.
And it actually really goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the people that are struggling with certain things, a lot of it is connected to things that have happened in childhood. Right. That, even as early as in utero. People don't realize that some things we take on as early as in utero. I mean, if mom and dad always wanted to have a house that was clean and spick and span, we take on those messages. Yeah. And we sometimes define ourselves like that. And so, but going back, so yes, the biggest thing for us with Two Maids and a Mop is we're giving you the gift of time. Mm-hmm. And we believe so strongly in being present and all that, so it all connects. But really, that's why we're doing what we're doing with Two Maids and a Mop, because we want people to be able to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. We know that life is so busy, and it really is hard to keep up with cleaning. Right. And if we can take that off of your plate, there's just so many things that we have on our plates, then we feel that we're giving you that gift of time. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. So,
so for you, I'm sure you saw that kind of nugget there of having somebody, come in, take care of your house so you don't have to do it. That's why you started your business. What are some other key areas that you and your husband, or key services or whatever that you guys leverage to be able to spend more time on being present and doing things that you enjoy as a family?
Oh, wow. I mean, obviously if we're talking about just us, then, babysitters are huge. That's great. And I know that St. Louis Sitter is supposed to be incredible. I've heard so many amazing things about them. But, really, I'm trying to think of different services that we've used. Other than that.
Yeah. Well, that's a good example. St. Louis sitters. I know for a lot of folks it can be hard to find a good babysitter as well. But what are some other maybe like time hacks or things that you guys do to be able to make the most of it? I mean, sometimes it's kind of like, because I own a business, my wife owns a business, and so sometimes, we'll schedule some time where she's able to work on her stuff while I'm working on some of my stuff, but we kind of go, she has a little bit of time, block of time to work while I, take care of, my 4-year-old, and then kind of vice versa. What are some things that you guys do to be able to schedule the needed time to be able to run your businesses?
So a big thing, and this is the teacher in me, is about time management, but I'm all about color coding my calendar.
Oh, yeah.
So if my calendar is totally green, then I know that I'm not balanced. And I know there's no such thing as truly balanced, but everyone has their own kind of balance. And so with that, actually every Sunday night, we sit down and we look at the week and we color code. So for instance, for self, that's pink, health is blue, relationships is yellow, and green is work.
That's great.
And so that right there helps us see, wait, are we balanced? Are we able to also take care of ourselves? Because if we can't take care of ourselves and have that me time, then, it's really hard to give to other people.
Right.
So a big thing is on Sunday nights, we will sit down, get the calendar out, and write down what absolutely is going on, and then we will color code, and then we'll incorporate things throughout.
So do you guys just kind of draw the calendar out? Do you use like a digital tool for the calendar? What helps you do that?
So I love Day Designer.
Okay.
And actually, if you go to Day Designer, she has actually a free template.
Oh.
And I love it.
Neat.
And it actually breaks down the week. And you have like areas that you can just add in. Actually, there's times and everything.
That's great.
And that's awesome. But I actually bought a Day Designer planner.
Okay, so like a physical planner as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually love writing it down. But it's funny because people are like, Carly, aren't you doing, that with your calendar on your phone? So when things come up, I always schedule it on my phone.
Right.
So I have it color coded on my phone.
Right.
And then that Sunday night, we'll sit down and we'll put it out on the planner.
Okay. So what was the name of that again?
Day Designer.
Day Designer. So that's one of the tools that you use. That's huge for people because, as to your point, you were a teacher. People learn in different ways, visually, auditorily, and then kinesthetically, actually physical touch.
Right.
And so you incorporate, I guess all of that because, you talk about it as well, right? But being able to incorporate all those aspects of being able to see it and see all those different colors and what they mean to your week, making sure that you're hitting all the important, all of your priorities, and then actually physically drawing it out also helps. I think that's just another way for people to ingest it. Some people, I know a lot of people that they still like the physical planner just because they like to touch it, feel it, have it there. So that's great, and it's great that it kind of incorporates it with that tool. So you guys have, so health's important to you. So what are all those priorities again? Can you say that again? Oh, yeah.
So self. And you have to take care of yourself first. So that one always comes first.
You can't give people a ride if you're driving around empty, right?
Right. So self, health, relationships, and work. And when I was helping kiddos with it and everything, we would change it around maybe to school or something like that.
Yeah.
But for us, self, health, relationships, and work.
Awesome. Well, those are some good points for people to at least start with. Self-help, relationships, and work. Because relationships are family, friends. I mean, you said you try to be a good mom, a good sister, a good daughter, a good friend. You know, you got all these roles in our life.
Right.
And so how do you even like prioritize all those different roles? Because those are all important to you. You've got relationships, and you kind of break that down. Obviously, with Rivulet, you know, you don't want to. You try to be mindful in each of those relationships and when you're there with them, but so you can't be necessarily always thinking about, oh, did I schedule time with this person or that person? Do you just kind of try to get? I mean, how does that work for you and your family?
Yeah. So honestly, I really get in my core. Like I really think what is it that really I feel? Yeah. What do I need to do? And that's how I do it. I'm not really in my head so much anymore. That's so I really just get in my body and I feel, hey, is it time to go hang out with my older sister? You know, those kind of things.
Well, that can be really powerful because, you know, sometimes if we are thinking about too much, you know, these things and prioritizing things too much rather than, you know, not based on our relationships and how we feel about those relationships, we can kind of get lost in just the things that we think we have to do rather than what we really truly in our heart know we need to do. But so we're at the end of today's show. Again, we had Carly Black with Rivulet and Two Maids and a Mop, and this was Matt Barbie, Time for Success, Business Owner, Mom's Edition. Thank you very much, and thank you, Facebook.
Thank you.